Edgar Wright's Shaun of the Dead isn't just a great movie. It's a genre-defining romantic zombie comedy, or rom-com if you're feeling cheeky. Balancing horror, humor, and heart, this film delivers the full undead package, mainly due to its colourful cast of characters. Let's dive into why they make this movie so great, with enough spoilers to make you regret not watching it again before reading. Let's face it, Shaun is not a natural leader. The film opens with him stuck in a rut, living in a humdrum existence where his daily highlight is going down to the Winchester pub to drink pints and play time splitters with his best friend, Ed. He's a lovable loser, the type of guy who suggests a romantic dinner date at a restaurant that serves all-you-can-eat breadsticks. But Shaun's strength lies in his everyman reliability. He's you on a particularly bad day, tired of work, getting dumped by his girlfriend, and dodging the responsibility of saving everyone from the zombie apocalypse. When things start falling apart, both literally and figuratively, he's forced to step up. Shaun's journey from slacker to leader is both hilarious and heartfelt as he navigates the zombie apocalypse with no real plan other than get Liz back, survive, and maybe a quick pint. It's endearing to watch him make mistakes, like going to his mum's house when clearly it's time to bunker down somewhere zombie-proof, but there's something deeply satisfying about seeing him finally rise to the occasion. Shaun's get the girl, lose the girl, save the girl arc, combined with his awkward charm, makes him the perfect zombie-fighting underdog. If Shaun is a lovable loser, Ed is the best friend who never quite grows up. He's a layabout with questionable hygiene and a deep love for fart jokes, and yet you can't help but love him. In any other zombie movie, Ed would probably die within the first 10 minutes due to his own incompetence. But here, he's Shaun's ride or die, quite literally by the end, sticking by his friend through thick and thin, and biting. His constant bad decisions, like using a camera phone to take a photo of a zombie instead of, running, are both infuriating and hilarious. And who could forget the scene where Shaun asks him to keep quiet, and Ed responds by answering his phone with the loudest ringtone known to man. Ultimately, Ed is the reflection of Shaun's worst tendencies, a reminder of what he could become if he doesn't get his act together. But he's also the friend we all want, loyal, supportive, and still cracking jokes even after becoming a zombie. Even in his zombified state, Ed is still sitting in the shed playing video games. Liz deserves a medal for putting up with Shaun for as long as she does. At the beginning of the film, she breaks up with him because he's too content with the monotonous lifestyle of pub trips and lazy afternoons. The woman wants more from life, which is completely reasonable, especially when Shaun can't even remember to book a table at a restaurant for their anniversary. What makes Liz stand out though is her practicality and emotional strength. She's not just a nagging girlfriend trope. When the apocalypse hits, she proves herself to be resourceful, level-headed, and surprisingly forgiving. Seriously, Shaun is lucky. While she's the reason Shaun starts his hero's journey, Liz also has her own growth, realizing that even a mediocre man who can beat zombies with a cricket bat can be worth loving, at least during an apocalypse. Diane is Liz's roommate and aspiring actress, and she's incredibly dedicated to her craft. So much so that when the zombie apocalypse begins, she's fully prepared to give everyone acting lessons on how to act like zombies, because obviously, the real danger in a zombie apocalypse is poor acting. Though she's often overshadowed by the louder personalities around her, Diane's resourcefulness and optimism keeps the group together. She's the cheerleader who holds everyone's spirits high. Well, until David's death, when she rushes into a horde of zombies, armed with only his leg. Honestly, that's some next level method acting. David is the guy everyone hates in the group, but tolerates out of sheer necessity. He's Liz's flatmate, but his not-so-secret crush on her makes everything awkward. Combine this with his smug, know-it-all attitude, and David becomes the character you're waiting to see get eaten by zombies. And when it finally happens, you feel more relief than sadness. But David's role in the film is essential. He's a foil to Shaun. While Shaun takes action, eventually, David just criticizes from the sidelines. He represents all the passive-aggressive negativity we wish would just go away during a crisis. And in one of the film's most gory scenes, he does just that, ripped apart by zombies in an unforgettable sequence of delicious glory. Pete is the long-suffering third roommate of Shaun and Ed, whose only wish is for a little maturity in the household. He's that guy who probably graduated with honors, but still ended up living with 2 overgrown children. His growing frustration with Ed's laziness and Shaun's lack of ambition leads to some of the funniest early scenes in the film. Unfortunately for Pete, his frustration culminates in him becoming a zombie. In one final burst of irony, Pete returns as a zombie to scream at Shaun. Well, growl at him. Pete's fate reminds us that in this film, the apocalypse isn't an excuse to stop holding people accountable for their slacking tendencies. Shaun's mum, Barbara, is the ultimate picture of politeness. Even when the undead are literally biting her arm off, she represents a different kind of tragedy in the film. Her inevitable death and reanimation is one of the more heart-wrenching moments. Barbara is loving, gentle, and slightly oblivious to the fact that her second husband, Philip, is kinda terrible. She's the emotional center of Shaun's life, and her zombification forces him to confront some deep feelings about family and responsibility. The scene where Shaun is forced to put her down is equal parts of devastating and darkly funny, with the group arguing over whether Shaun should shoot his own mother. Bill Nighy's performance as Philip is nothing short of brilliant. At first you think Philip is just an overbearing jerk of a stepdad, constantly nagging Shaun about responsibility and ambition. But just as the zombies close in, you get a surprising and touching moment between Philip and Shaun in the car, where Philip admits he was just trying to toughen Shaun up because he cared. Cue this tears. Philip's demise is both tragic and darkly humorous. As the zombified Philip sits lifeless in the car, still wearing his seatbelt, the gang awkwardly gets out and leaves him there. He's the ultimate redemption character. Just as we begin to warm up to him, it's too late. Yvonne is Shaun's old friend who shows up sporadically, seemingly handling the apocalypse far better than Shaun. She's what Shaun could be if he got his act together sooner. The fact that her group mirrors Shaun's, right down to having a David-like figure, is one of the film's greatest running gags. What makes Shaun of the Dead truly great isn't just the laugh-out-loud humor or the gory zombie kills. It's the way the characters grow throughout the story. Shaun's ragtag group of survivors are deeply flawed, and yet by the end, we're rooting for them. Each character serves as a mirror for Shaun's journey from irresponsible slacker to someone who can take charge in a crisis. They're funny, they're heartfelt, and they're all trying to survive the best way they can, whether by cricket bat or by taking zombie method acting to the next level. In the end, Shaun doesn't save the world, but he does save the ones he loves. And if that's not enough reason to call this film great, well, maybe you're better off playing video games with Zombie Ed in the shed. Thank you guys for watching, and this is Black Sugar Lovin', out.